Welcome to Rwanda, a world of endless opportunities, where innovation and growth converge against a breathtaking backdrop. This is your opportunity to embark on a transformative journey, ideal for organizations seeking new horizons. In the heart of Africa lies Rwanda, a nation that has not only overcome adversity, but has emerged as one of Africa's most promising business hubs. Here, the prospects are boundless, and the incentives are abundant. Imagine a nation renowned for its ease of doing business, with a government committed to fostering a conducive environment for foreign investments. The World Bank ranks Rwanda as one of the top countries in Africa for business-friendly policies. Picture a workforce that is young, dynamic, and eager to contribute to your success. The government of Rwanda's commitment to technology and innovation creates the ideal setting for your business to thrive. With a rapidly growing digital infrastructure, your company can harness the power of connectivity like never before. From the vibrant streets of Kigali to the lush landscapes of the land of 1,000 hills, Rwanda invites companies and investors from all around the world to be a part of its success story. Be it in finance, technology, manufacturing, renewable energy, mining, or any sector, the possibilities are endless. Therefore, if you're a company with a vision for growth, Rwanda is more than a destination. It is an opportunity to be part of a nation's journey towards transformation. Discover Rwanda, where innovation meets opportunity and where your business aspirations can thrive. The future is here, and it's calling you to do business in Rwanda.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to the Rwanda Country Summit that's hosted by AFSIC and RDB. We have a very exciting plan for you this evening. I know it's the last session, but again, let's bring some energy. We want it to be engaging. We'll talk about Rwanda as an investment hub and also Rwanda as a gateway to invest in Africa. As you can see, we had an RDB video. We'll have another video, a presentation, a panel, and an exciting networking session at the back. You can see round tables. We'll have our Capital Market Authority, a few trust and corporate services providers in Rwanda, and RDB and KSC if you want to interact on a deeper level. Without further ado, allow me to welcome our High Commissioner, His Excellency Justin Musenge.
Good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here and always happy to join these events to have these conversations about Rwanda. This morning I met an animal lover who loves animals, who has gone to very many different game parks and contributed to conservation. And I told her animal lovers belong to Rwanda. If you haven't been to Rwanda, you better look at your passport and make sure it is okay, because you don't need a visa, and make sure you go. So to be here speaking at an RDB and KFC event is to be where I belong. It's a great honor to welcome you to the Rwanda Summit, Investment Summit held on the sidelines of AFSIC 2025, Africa's premier investment event. I extend my appreciation to all of you for joining us now as we explore the vast opportunities that Rwanda offers as a gateway to do business in Africa. I'm proud, and I think we are always proud as Rwandans, as Rwanda continues to make this visible progress in socio-economic development and in improving the well-being of our people. For those of you who have visited Rwanda before, you will agree that each year brings new growth, new innovation, new momentum, and the young lady here just mentioned energy, new energy. And the gentleman next, right here, was asking a few moments ago, why isn't the arena not on the video? So there is always new material for the video. And I believe that the next video, you guys, should contain the arena. If it doesn't, you will miss one guest. Events like this one have certainly played a big role in connecting Rwanda to global investors and strategic partners who share our vision of inclusive prosperity. Rwanda aspires to become a high-income, knowledge-based economy by 2050, an economy where innovation, entrepreneurship, and investment drive sustainable and inclusive development. This vision is supported by 2 decades of consistent progress. Today, Rwanda stands among Africa's fastest-growing and most reform-oriented economies, backed by a strong record of good governance, political stability, macroeconomic discipline, and institutional efficiency. Our results speak for themselves. GDP grew by 8.9% in 2024, powered by services, industry, and agriculture. The economy continued its strong performance with 7.8% growth in the first quarter of 2025, despite global uncertainties. Rwanda's impressive economic growth, political stability, and business-friendly regulation have combined to produce a country risk profile among the lowest in Africa. Rwanda dismantles bureaucratic hurdles to business as a matter of policy and maintains a level of policy clarity that allows investors to plan their next move with confidence. We are proud to offer one of the most transparent, secure, and efficient business environments on the continent. We consistently rank among the top African countries in the World Bank's Doing Business Index, and we are recognized globally for our zero-tolerance stance on corruption, streamlined regulatory systems, and investor-friendly policies. Our sovereign credit ratings for 2025 remain among the best in Africa: B+, Fitch, B+, SP&B, and Moody's B2. These strong fundamentals have enabled us to attract high-quality investments across strategic sectors. In our capital city, Kigali has evolved into a vibrant regional hub for finance, innovation, conferences, and investment. The Kigali International Financial Center plays a leading role in positioning Rwanda as a preferred financial gateway to Africa. KIFC, as it is abbreviated, provides a well-regulated, transparent, and competitive platform for global investors seeking to structure and deploy capital across the continent. It offers access to a modern legal framework, double taxation treaties, and professional service providers that meet international standards. Alongside KIFC, the Rwanda Development Board offers investors a seamless experience from company registration, licensing, investment certification, and aftercare services. The Rwanda Development Board also manages a suite of fiscal and non-fiscal incentives to encourage investment in priority sectors such as financial services, manufacturing, agro-processing, ICT, tourism, mining, life sciences, and real estate. We are privileged today to have officials from both KIFC and RDB with us in this room. I invite you to connect with them for detailed insights into Rwanda's investment ecosystem, financing opportunities, and partnership pathways. Rwanda's geostrategic location at the center of Africa offers unparalleled access to regional and continental markets. Through our active participation in the African Continental Free Trade Area, investors in Rwanda enjoy entry into a unified market of more than 1.3 billion consumers. Our commitment to openness is further reflected in our visa policy. 167 nationalities on earth. You know, the world is about 194 countries, right? So out of those, 167 enjoy visa on arrival or visa-free entry. These include member states of the African Union, Commonwealth, and the Francophonie, who enjoy visa-free entry. So if you belong to any of those countries, all you need to do is get your passport, go to the nearest airport, fly to Rwanda, do your business, go back to the airport, go home, do what you want. That's it. This approach reflects our dedication to regional integration and our belief that connectivity drives growth. Today's summit provides an excellent opportunity to engage directly with Rwandan officials, explore sector-specific investment opportunities, and build lasting partnerships. I encourage you to visit the Rwanda booth, meet our delegation, discover how your business can be part of Rwanda's remarkable transformation journey, and then visit Rwanda. In closing, let me reaffirm Rwanda's unwavering commitment to working hand in hand with investors to build a prosperous, resilient, and inclusive future for all of us. We are open for business, and we are ready to partner with you. Together, let's build the bridge to Africa's next chapter of growth and opportunity. I thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency. In closing, he said, "We are open to business and we are ready to partner with you." On that note, allow me to welcome Devine, who's from RDB, where you can set up a business. Does anybody know in how many hours? Exactly, 6 hours. Devine.
Thank you, Cindy. Good afternoon. Actually, it's now less than 6 hours. We have upgraded our systems. So I have 10 minutes just to give you an idea of what is Rwanda's investment landscape and also investment opportunities that we have in Rwanda. So I don't know how many have been to Rwanda, but here you can see where is Rwanda on the map between East Africa and Central Africa. Meaning that if you are an investor and you are targeting Rwanda, you have an access to a bigger market. You are not looking at the 14 million, but you are looking also at a bigger market within the East African community, which is a market of over 450 million, and also a market of COMESA, common market for Eastern and Southern Africa. So meaning that if you are coming and decide to do business in Rwanda, you have a very big market that your product will have access to, quota-free, duty-free. And also, of course, today we are talking about the FTA, the Continental Free Trade Market, and I think our High Commissioner has mentioned that within that market we have an access of over 1.3 billion population. And now, here is what I was talking about. We understand that when an investor is looking to invest in a country, you are not only looking at making profits and also where the raw materials, but also we are looking at access to market and where to trade your product. That's why we made sure that we have those free trade agreements and we are part of them. So our investors no longer have to worry about the market. And also, we understand that when we are talking about business, also it is linked with openness and also movement of people and the movement of goods. And as you can see, we are connected. Even for us coming here, we came with our national carrier, Rwanda, which flies to here, to UK, to Mumbai, to a number of destinations, as you can see on the map. And also, we have created a conducive environment for investors. We understand that there is that facilitations that an investor needs when you want to invest in a country. You wonder, where do I look, who to ask, am I going to be facilitated? That's why we ensured that we have a conducive environment for investors. And today we have a business-friendly regulation, and we make sure that environment for investors, continues to be friendly for investors. And also we have an efficient supported processes. As Cindy said, registering a business in Rwanda, it takes less than 6 hours. You can try and see. So we'd be happy to assist you. And also it's free of charge. But after that also, we have a dedicated team at RDB, which is there to accompany you in your journey to invest in Rwanda, meaning that when an investor has decided, is committed, and has registered his project in Rwanda, we don't just leave them alone. We ensure that we accompany them in that journey. And also when it comes to commitment to foreign ownership, a foreigner can own a company at 100%. There is no requirement to partner with a national or a Rwandan, but of course we do encourage partnership for knowledge transfer, but it is not a requirement by the law. And also you can invest in any sector of your choice. We don't have like protected sectors, or it is open. We have an open economy, so you can choose any sector of your choice and you can invest in. And also we don't have any restrictions on capital flows or repatriation of profit. After you have done your business in Rwanda, you made profit, you are free to repatriate your profit. Of course, after fulfilling the obligation that are required by the law. And also, we are ready to be a partner. What I want to say here is that in Rwanda, we don't only welcome projects, but also we do welcome ideas. You might have an idea, and you are wondering, where should I implement my idea, your idea? So in Rwanda, we are ready to walk the journey with you, and to ensure that that idea, as long as it's strategic, it's transformational, we are ready to welcome that idea. That's why we have those companies that have started in Rwanda. We have Zipline, we have Noshken. Those are companies that are in Rwanda, and they are doing well. And for example, Zipline has started in Rwanda. At that time, we didn't know much about blood delivery, but we worked the journey with them. It was an idea, it was a startup, but today they are expanding outside of Rwanda, in Africa and outside of Africa. So if you have an idea and you are wondering where to implement it, we'll be here during the networking session. You can come and tell us, and we'll be happy to work the journey with you. And also in addition to that, if we have incentives that we give under our investment code, but if you have a strategic project, we are ready to negotiate. We are flexible when it comes to ideas and innovation and creativity, as long as we see that that idea or that project can bring impact in our economy. We are ready to negotiate and see how to reach an agreement on how you can implement your idea or your project in Rwanda. And also we are positioning ourselves to become a financial hub. I think here we have a team. We go into details during the panel session, but we ensured that we have created the legal structure for financial companies to come to set up in Rwanda. And also we have a competitive package, incentive package for trust foundation holding companies. And also we are inviting mutual funds, multinational banks, international banks to come to establish in our Kigali International Financial Center. If you want details, we'll be happy to share details, of course, during the panel, but also during the networking session. And also we have investment opportunities across all sectors. Of course, because of the time, I want to go into details, but what I can tell you that we have those opportunities that are available, but we also have ready to invest in projects that we are inviting investors to come to consider investing in. So here you have an idea of those ready to invest in projects that we want investors to consider and come to invest in. And also we'll be here and we'll be happy to share details with you during the networking session. So thank you for your attention. Yeah.
Thank you, Devine. As promised, we are moving on to a video. So if we are ready in the back, and I'll be back.
Looking for the most trusted gateway to invest across Africa? Welcome to the Kigali International Financial Center, Africa's dynamic hub for capital, innovation, and sustainable growth. Here is why global investors are choosing Kigali. Strategic location, a central launchpad into Africa's fastest growing markets, world-class regulation, transparent, OECD compliant, and built on global best practices. Investor incentives, competitive tax and legal frameworks aligned with real economic substance. Business environment, Rwanda is consistently ranked among Africa's easiest and safest places to do business. KFC is already building global bridges, forging partnerships with leading financial centers worldwide, growing a vibrant ecosystem of funds, corporates, fintechs, and service providers, attracting more than 250 international investors and managing $400 million in assets under management as of 2025. Our mission is bold: to position Kigali as the leading international financial center in Africa, driving investment into asset and wealth management, sustainable finance, fintech and innovation, cross-border capital markets. The opportunity is clear. Africa is the future. Kigali is the gateway. Join us at Kigali International Financial Center, where global capital meets Africa's growth story. Kigali International Financial Center, invest with confidence, unlock opportunity.
All right. Maybe you're sitting here and thinking to yourself, all right, Cindy, all that sounds really good, sounds nice, sounds more like propaganda. And the lady in the video has a nice voice, but what's actually on the ground? What's actually on the field? The next panel is going to be just that. It's going to be investors, it's going to be service providers telling you about their experience. So without further ado, allow me to welcome our moderator, the CIO of KIFC, Jean-Marie Kananura.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm starting under pressure. I promise this is not a propaganda. It's just a conversation. We wanted to have this conversation to showcase what we've been doing for the last 5-6 years. And we are fortunate enough to have a distinguished panel, a panelist. I'm going to invite them, and I will give them opportunity actually to introduce themselves. I will start by our boss and the regulator, Mr. Tapelo. Please join me. Followed by Andrew, Damien, and Timothy, please. Please join me on the stage. Thank you. So we have a very diverse panelist. It's very unusual for Rwandan to have 100% gentlemen panel, but this is it is what it is. Usually we are quite inclusive. So ladies, bear with us. It wasn't on the purpose, but we are very happy to have at the same time service providers that are operating from Rwanda. We also have investors and special guests, our regulator, which is quite unusual to have usually a regulator in this type of gathering. So we are going to hear from them, to hear from their experience, those who have set up in Kigali, and learn what has been their journey and what actually makes Rwanda unique. So without further ado, I will start by maybe Timothy. If you can introduce yourself, Damien, then up to Tapelo. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Can you?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Timothy. I'm representing Andersen. Andersen, we are a full spectrum advisory firm based in San Francisco, but with an office in Kigali and 40 other countries in Africa and more than 100 countries globally. Yeah, thank you and so much. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Damien Cunham. I'm a partner with a law firm Lidekirk, and I'm heading our M&A and fund practice in our Kigali office. We've been in Kigali for the last almost 8 years now. And we're a full-service law firm active in Western Europe and Central Africa.
Andrew Feinstein, private business owner. For those of you that are basketball fans or NBA fans, I have the honor and the privilege of being partners with Masai Ujiri, the first ever African-born person to lead a Western sports franchise. He was formerly with the Toronto Raptors, and we've worked together for years. Originally, we were building basketball courts and producing basketball camps and clinics for boys and girls across Africa, but including Rwanda. And then we had the privilege of collaborating with His Excellency President Kagame on the development and the operation of the BK Arena, 10,000 seats. It's the most modern arena in all of Africa. The renovation and rehabilitation of the iconic Amahoro Stadium, which is now a new stadium, 45,000 seats, and an entertainment district next door named Zara Court, which is a mixed-use entertainment district, which I'll talk about. So I've also had the privilege of living in Kigali with my wife and children. For the women in the room that are concerned about not having female representation on the panel, be proud to know that Rwanda has the highest percentage of women in parliament of any country in the world, which we're also very proud of. So thank you for having me. Sorry for the long-winded introduction, but great to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Tapelo Teole. I'm the Capital Markets Authority CEO. I regulate and develop capital markets in Rwanda.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I will start by you, Andrew. You spoke about your project in Rwanda. There is a paradox in Africa. We say that there are a lot of opportunities, but at the same time, there is an issue on funding. There's a funding gap. Can you take us through your journey? What has been your journey? How you started? And most importantly, why did you start your project in Rwanda? Because from my understanding, it's a Pan-African project.
Well, I'll answer the last question first. I thought the video had a great line, which is Africa is the opportunity, but Rwanda is the gateway. And we fundamentally believe that. We do have a vision for a Pan-African sports and entertainment infrastructure ecosystem. We want to have nodes across the continent. We want to build a circuit so that teams can play across the continent, performers can perform across the continent, conferences can move across the continent, but you can't do that without infrastructure. And we knew that if we started Rwanda, we'd get it done. If we tried to start somewhere else, with all due respect to our friends from across the continent, we might still be talking about it today. So we knew that if we started Rwanda, it would get done, and we got it done. I always tell people and everyone in this room should really think about this. Rwanda is in the business of yes. They're in the business of yes. And even as an American, I mean, it is so hard to get things done in the United States right now. It's kind of market state dependent, but we have so much regulation, we have so much red tape, we have so many hoops to jump through. Rwanda is in the business of yes. Every time we reached out to the RDB, every time we reached out to any government authority and said, can you help me on this? They get back to you in the same day. They get back to you. They email you back, they text you back. It is such a wonderful place to do business. So that's why, as far as arranging financing, you know, it was our investor pool is a combination of local investment as well as international investment. And we did have to evangelize for why Rwanda, as you can tell I like to do. But we were able to make the case and put together a consortium of investors. And you know, here we are, we're on our way.
Thank you. I'm asking this question because maybe for the audience as well. As we are positioning Rwanda as a gateway for investment, one of the questions we have is, well, I like what you do. I really trust, you know, have trust in your jurisdiction, but am I going to be able to raise money from investors, for example? Or should I go and set up, you know, in Mauritius, in Dubai, to give comfort to investors? Is this something that we have experienced or not?
Oh, there's no question. There was some skepticism. I mean, when we went to investors and said, hey, we're going to be domiciled in this Kigali International Finance Center, most, with all due respect, haven't even heard of Kigali, never mind the Kigali International Finance Center. But when we walked them through the benefits in terms of repatriation, stability of government, no corruption, ease of execution, you know, no tax on capital gains and dividends and things like that, we were able to get them over the line. And look, like any sponsor of any project, your investors have to trust you. You know, I always say that and I'm an investor too, like any deal that you invest in, the paper can say whatever it wants. You have to at some point trust the sponsor. And I think that Masai and I do clean business, and I think Rwanda does clean business. And we were able to engender that level of trust, and that's how we were able to get investment over the line. I think that the KIFC has a long way to go, but that's why you're here. And hopefully you will be, you know, punching above your weight in that arena like you do in every other arena that Rwanda has set its mind to.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Up to you, Tapelo. You are in charge of capital markets regulation. Obviously, this is one of the biggest components of what we do as a financial center, as you want to understand when we attract and convince investors to come to be domiciled in Rwanda, if they are into financial services like a fund, you have to go through the licensing. And few days ago, you had an interview, I think, where you were talking about some latest development of the capital market, including some listing as well as innovative regulatory framework. Can you elaborate on that? And maybe first, why are you here? Why are you think that, why do you believe that it's important to be in this type of gathering where we usually have like investors, you know, fund managers that are raising money? Why do you think your presence in this forum is important?
Yeah, I think it's important because I think from the Rwanda Capital Markets Authority perspective is, you know, we want to have a deeper understanding in terms of the evolving needs of our clients in terms of people who raise capital and also people who provide capital. You need to be continuously understanding how the trends are moving. And therefore, such conferences like this are the best in order to get to understand what is actually happening in the investment landscape. And so that when we formulate the rules and the legal frameworks, they actually speaks to our clients. So it's very important that we don't just copy things and then paste them and then hoping they will generally work. I think we're undergoing a lot of regulatory enactment in order to assist the KIFC, of course, and also in order to reach international standards in terms of regulation. We are generally having a very good year, even in terms of the market activity in Rwanda. And therefore, it's good to interact with our clients here so that we really understand where the world is moving and we stay ahead of the curve. So in short, we're a regulator, but we're a regulator who have a developmental mind into perspective.
Thank you. Can you take us through the latest, let's say, few regulations that you've brought in the market, and how is it going? And maybe, I will ask maybe the service providers, because those are the ones who come to knock on your door. How is it going? Just to confirm or to challenge you. But take us through what you've done, let's say, the most advanced, or what you're trying to do is to have, I guess, world class.
I think I think in the past year, of course, we reviewed our Central Security Depository Law, which include a lot of standards in terms of GIMRA standards that are good for investments, and I think Rwanda is one of the few countries in Africa that will be conforming to those standards. The way we develop our laws is that we also took them through rigorous global associations like the Castural Association, who are the guys who controls a lot of capital around the world. We revamped our unit trust laws, and the regulations are now at a final stage. And also while we are doing that, we have seen a significant growth in terms of the unit trust through market education. Asset under management have gone up by almost 15%. Investors have gone up by 40% in 1 year. So I think it is quite going well. And we're just about to do the virtual assets law, which is going to be much more advanced than a lot of other African markets law in terms of the classes of instruments that we are going to be bringing on. So it's going to be going to Parliament quite soon. And also we did an overhaul of the law regulating capital markets, so that we take advantage of a lot of other asset classes that might otherwise not be there, like family offices, which is actually something that is fast growing in Rwanda, a big opportunity there, and also to encompass a lot of other things like exempted funds in Rwanda, so that when people want to come and set up in Rwanda, some of the funds that are for sophisticated investors, we don't need to be taking them through the same regulation that we use for unit trust, which is a norm in a lot of African markets, so that we just look at the registration and then exempt those funds to make it easier for companies to set up. So that regulation will be also going to the Law Reform Commission in Rwanda, because in Rwanda, all the laws are now expedited through the Law Reform Committee that enables laws to be made business friendly and also to be expedited. So those are some of the other laws that we've been pushing forward, because we don't want to over-regulate the financial system, but also want to put measures and checks to comply with a number of things like AML and terrorist financing.
That's very important that we, as we develop our capital market or our financial center in general, that we comply to international standards. And as the KFC, we are quite excited about those new regulations, including the family office, because these are, it's a new trend. And actually, last week we were in Hong Kong, and we participated to one of the family office gathering, and we could see that there is a big interest in Africa, and obviously they always want to know where to start. So quite happy to see that this is going in the right direction. Damien, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jean-Marie.
So you have a law firm that is based out of Brussels, also operates in Kigali and DRC,
Correct.
Congo, if I'm not mistaken. Usually we describe our framework, our regulatory framework as world class. From your experience in advising clients, helping investors to structure their fund, how does this perform in reality? What has been your experience? We've been together, I think, the last 5 years. Can you share your experience and your perspective in the future? Thank you.
Gladly. Thank you, Jean-Marie, and thank you for asking this very tough question in front of the chair of the regulator with whom we often work, making my life much easier. So yes, we've been in Kigali in Rwanda for more than 5 years, and as Jean-Marie mentioned, we're also based in Brussels, actually also in London and Kinshasa, the DRC. So we believe we have a very good view on what are the international standards in terms of investment and investment facilitation, and the conclusion or the reality is simply that Rwanda has the entire toolkit in terms of legislation. And whether you're from a civil law background or from a common law jurisdictions, you will find the tools in Rwanda that will make you feel comfortable. And I think that's one of the great strengths of the jurisdiction, is that as a hub, it blends these two legal traditions and offers you basically the instrument with which you feel most comfortable with. So if you're, let's say, a Western African investor used to a civil law system, you will be able to invest through companies very familiar to the one you will have in your own jurisdiction. If you're from the Commonwealth or the US, you can use a limited partnership, and you use the term, you have concepts and institutions that are very familiar to what you would find in your home jurisdictions, and that makes your work in terms of convincing your investor, as Andrew was saying, much easier, because they will hear familiar concepts, familiar structures. I must say, and kudos to the CMA for that, is that as a regulator, the CMA is particularly open and available, because obviously, we're coming with US-based investor or European-based investor or Western African-based investor, and they have lots of questions. And sometimes we are a bit uncertain as to how we should answer these questions, and there we can count on the CMA, to be available, to guide us or go through us through the hoops and help us to basically understand what is the rules or how we should apply it in that specific situation. And the same for the KFC. Always available for a chat, and always happy to point us to the right person. So yes, the toolkit, as I like to name it, is world class and works in practice. I mean, we've seen it 7 years down the road. We see an increase in the number of clients using or looking at Rwanda as a hub for investing and deploy capital in Africa.
Thank you. Timothy. Andersen has supported several firms as well to set up in Rwanda. From your perspective, also from someone who's, I would say, from East Africa, what are the competitive advantage that you see, and how was your experience again?
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, I think there's a short answer to that in terms of Rwanda's competitive advantage, and also there's probably a longer one. So the short answer is, I think it's momentum. I would say momentum in the sense that when you look at, and Andrew pointed out to how well coordinated everyone is, and I think there's a lot of wind against the sails when it comes to doing business in Rwanda. So you find that if your project aligns with Rwanda's national priorities, or it is going to be an advantage to the country and to you as well as an investor, there's a lot of there's concerted effort to ensure that this business actually succeeds, in the sense of because if you look at all the players that are needed to actually ensure that a project is successful, you have 4 key people. You have of course you have the investor themselves, you have the regulator, you have the policymakers, and you have the professional service providers who are, helping the investors, right? And in that equation, you'll find that as much as we can talk about Rwanda's, all the nice video we've seen, I think Rwanda is not special in that sense that, if you talk about a good tax incentives, you talk about the regulatory frameworks, you talk about all of those things. I think there are countries that might be even ahead of Rwanda. But what is making Rwanda different from other countries is that momentum that everyone who is holding those offices, whether it's regulators or service providers or investors or the promoters, RDB, KFC, I think there's an open door policy. And as Andrew has mentioned, I think there is that there's an urgency to doing things which you don't find anywhere else in the region, and that could be the one that eventually unlocks Rwanda's potential. Because I think with the structure in place, I think the other thing that you need is actually that human interaction and people who are willing to actually get things moving. And so far, I can say that there's a lot of advantage that Rwanda could position itself. And it's not just the financial center, there's also the broader aspects of what we're doing with tourism, what we're doing with other national priorities. So there's momentum. And I think if that momentum continues the way it is continuing, given that we've been operating in Rwanda for a while now, we've seen it getting from a place where we didn't have a financial center. Now we have a financial center. Now it's a question of, are we the best in Africa or are we not? And I think definitely that could be one of the areas that could really be exploited in terms of the next phase of growth.
Thank you. We are running out of time, but I think I want you to go through because we want to have enough time for networking, right? But starting by Damien, from your perspective, what one or two things that we should focus, let's say, the next 5 years to keep the momentum, as Timothy was mentioning, one or two points.
To keep it very brief, I think, so the toolkit is there. I think we need to refine the practice and basically develop the sort of habits so as to even make an investment decision or an acquisition decision faster and easier. So the framework is there. We need to get a bit used. We need a bit more training. Obviously, a lot of legislation is fairly recent, so it needs to be tested. And that's by this dialogue with the regulators that we do the testing, that we sort of fine-tune and pinpoint the best approach. And then it's by doing that we'll continue the ascension, I would say.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Actually, as Taper was also mentioning, maybe for the audience, in the last 4 years, we reviewed or created from scratch more than 24 laws. So that's a lot of regulation, laws. We kind of disrupted the market, actually. So everyone kind of has to, kind of keep up. But the good news is that as an ecosystem, as you were mentioning, it's quite kind of very easy to collaborate and to make things move forward. So to you, coming back to you, perspective. You've kind of almost completed the project in Rwanda. I'm sure you want to expand from Rwanda to the rest of the continent. How first are you planning to monetize this project, and how financial centers do you think would continue playing this type of will help you in that?
Well, how you can help me, I don't know if the KIFC has enough employees, but we do have a sports bar, we have a basketball court, we have a rooftop lounge, we have retail shops. So everyone who comes to Rwanda, you've got to come to the BK Arena, you've got to come to Zaire Court, spend some money. That's how we're going to be sustainable. And also, just my sarcasm aside, we are bringing lots of events into Rwanda. This weekend we're going to be hosting the first ever professional MMA event in the BK Arena on Saturday night. It's called the PFL, the Professional Fighters League. They're a rival of the UFC. We're going to have a sold-out arena, 10,000 seats this Saturday night in Kigali, which means everything we do around it's going to be very busy. There's also some additional parcels that we are looking at. So we do talk a lot about expanding outside of Rwanda, but we are looking at expanding within Rwanda because now we know how it works and because we have an investor pool. And I just want to pick up on one thing Damien said that the audience should just be aware of. The common law thing is really good. I mean, people say to me all the time, like, oh, as an American, what was it like doing business in Africa? I said, it's not, or at least in Rwanda. I've not done Francophile yet, but it wasn't that complicated. Like from the language of real estate, like property ownership, title, development, construct, like our contract with our contractors, it's very similar to where I come from. It wasn't a heavy lift. If anything, we got things done faster because the government folks actually get back to you. I know I said that earlier, but that's huge. Like, I can't beg someone to get back to me in Denver, Colorado, where I'm from. So That's really important, and I think everyone who works in the government should know that. Like, getting back to people is so important. Getting back to people can be the difference between getting a deal done and not getting a deal done. And that comes from the president's office all the way down, and he himself has told me, if someone doesn't get back to you, you let me know. Because I know that's really important. You know, you got to get back to people. It's really important. And I tell our employees all the time, get back to people. So anyway.
It's well noted.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well noted. Thank you. Tapelo, going forward, I think you mentioned some new regulation, including family office and tokenization funds and virtual assets. Maybe in terms of streamlining the process and you know, making sure that you know, by the way, how long does it take to have a license? Let's say fund management license.
Yeah, I mean, if you submit proper papers, we'll give you a license in less than 30 days.
Okay.
Max about 6 weeks.
30 days.
Yeah.
Okay. I can confirm that one. I can confirm, provided that you have submitted properly the application. That's really.
Yeah, and then look, if the application is have some gaps, we just get back to you, like he's saying, get back to people, and then tell you what you need to submit.
Okay, and in terms of maybe, I'd say streamlining the process, what are you doing and what?
I think what we are doing now is we're actually at the concept stage in terms of getting service providers to digitize our applications for fund management, for regulation of everyone in the capital markets space. I think we'll be going on tender very soon. We should be by probably maybe mid next year or so on full automation, so that you just load your stuff on the computer, send to us. We do the approvals, and even in terms of continuing obligations, everything will be online. So that project is in earnest. We have gotten through the RFQ stage, and I think we'll finalize it by possibly before mid next year.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for your contribution and your insights. We are coming to the end of this discussion, but again, as I said, there is a networking opportunity. They will be having like a tables at the back. You can ask questions, real questions. You know, you can go to Timothy or Damian and ask them questions, actually, even in terms of how much they charge you. I didn't want to put them under the spot, but I really want to thank you all for your attention, for attending this session. We had a good presentation from RDB. We heard about High Commissioner reminding us how we are building a strong and conducive environment for business, and inviting you to visit Rwanda. So I hope you will visit Rwanda soon. And we also just heard from the panelists. They shared their experience and perspective. So maybe key takeaway here is that Rwanda is not. This is not like a case study. It's something that is really. It's a living example of a result. So KFC is not initiative. KFC is a financial center that is up and running. So we invite you to continue engaging with us. We are available throughout this session, and also can have our contact. So we hope to see you soon, either in Rwanda, but also maybe next year here at AFSIC. Thank you very much.